Okay, today is April 30th, 2016, and right now at 6:30 p.m. in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a temperature of 62 degrees. The barometer is reading 29.85. The relative humidity is 58%, and the dew point is 48 degrees. There's been some very, very light rain in the last 20 minutes over the foothills, but that has stopped. We'll take a look at why that is not working out too well. The rain is not getting started here in this area. We'll take a look at that here in a few minutes. But right now we're watching the eastern U.S. Rainbow Loop. We can see that this storm right over Nebraska is being manipulated. We can see a near right angle. We have quite a long straight edge right here on this vertical side here. And this is spanning from Louisiana all the way up halfway through Iowa right here. And if we just whoops, let's go ahead and get this straightened out again right here. We can see that this is a fairly straight edge right along that north-south edge is very straight, and this is not a perfect right angle, but it is demonstrating that we have some man-made manipulation going on. This is a phased array transmitter putting some high power down on the core of this system. And what's going to happen over time as this unfolds is that we have a separation of the frontal system. They heat the core pressure raises, and then we have eventually a complete separation of the core, or rather the frontal system from the core. So we're going to keep an eye on this. This was about halfway through the loop. If we look at the loop down here, we can see that we've selected that frame because that was at that particular time, about 3 hours ago, we had this situation going on right here, this near right angle. So if we go ahead and roll the if we roll the loop, we can see the progression. And so what's happening here is we can see some clockwise rotation right here, right there, and that's eventually going to pull this whole frontal system away from this part of the system here, which is the core, the low pressure unit. This is the core. That's where the lowest pressure exists, right here, where that counterclockwise rotation is occurring. Okay, now let's look at this in the water vapor map, and we can see the same feature. This is a very straight edge right here. We can put the envelope in there, and it fits fairly well. Now this edge is not a perfect right angle, but it's certainly good enough to demonstrate man-made weather manipulation, which is we've been documenting these right angles and rectangles all season long. And so this is nothing new, but this is another attempt to weaken this system as it moves to the east. This is a very large system, and this is going to be causing a lot of flooding and rain for the entire east coast. And again, we can see that clockwise rotation where the high pressure, the descending air is, all this area here is high pressure from that transmitter. And the result of that is we get clockwise rotation. Let's roll this one here. We can see the same thing. All this is spinning in a clockwise fashion. That proves that we have high pressure descending air right in this area. That is from this transmitter, creating that rectangle. All right, let's go take a look at the west coast right now. This is the northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and we can see that we have a similar storm, a big system here, and we also have manipulation occurring. We have a transmitter right here, which is disrupting this moisture flow. And what we have here is clockwise rotation. And if we look at this in the infrared loop, the rainbow map, we can see that that's where the disruption is occurring, right where that transmitter is, right here. It's generating clockwise rotation. You're heating this area with a transmitter, phased array, and that is causing this disruption. Everything here should be spinning counterclockwise. Everything. That includes the front. The whole works should be spinning backwards, counterclockwise, the opposite of a clock. Okay, so we have a disruption here. You can see that dark area on the core of this system. That's going to raise the core pressure. We also have a transmitter and several highs indicated through here off the west coast. That is going to block this entire cold front right here. So let's take a look at the, we can see the outflow occurring here after they've pumped up the pressure. All along here we have very high pressure. It's around 1031 millibar. Currently over LA we have a lower pressure. It's indicating 29.85. That's because we have a couple of lows over Southern California. There's one right here, but none of this rain is getting far enough into west into Southern California. The eastern part of the state right here is getting some rain. We can take a look at that here in a minute. Here is the surface analysis map. All of this high pressure has been installed in the last day, 1032 millibar, all through here. That is going to block all of this rain. So we've got another opportunity for rain. This is going to be stopped. They're trying to get something going here. We have a low indicated in a couple of troughs, but it's just not happening. We're not having any rain. We'll have to wait and see what they give us. Meantime, we've got another high pressure system out here that's going to separate this storm way out over in the West Pacific. This is a 974 millibar. That is going to keep these two separated. All right, let's take a look next at the western U.S. water vapor loop. And we can see the system right here over Nevada, Arizona, and California. This currently right now is right over the Colorado River. This center of rotation is right over the Colorado River right there. And we'll take a look at the infrared map, the rainbow loop. And we can see that the rain is just stopping just on the other side of the San Gabriel Mountains right along here. And we're going to take a look at that up close. But notice the channel of dry air that's been built in throughout this area right here. And that is going to prevent this low here and also this low we were looking at with the right angle on it from emerging. There's all sorts of manipulation going on here. And we can see the clockwise rotation here from all the got a high pressure area installed here. That's going to block this system from moving in. But we have a good rain opportunity right here, but that's not delivering rain to the coastal area of Southern California. All right, let's take a look next at the this is the Southern California area, the southwest map. This is the rainbow loop. We can see the center of rotation almost squarely right over the Colorado River, right here. And here's the rainbow loop. And we see that there is some intense shower activity and water vapor here in this area. But notice that LA, right where the pen tip is just not getting much of anything. Everything stops just inland of where we are. So hopefully it's raining pretty hard out here in the desert areas and along the Colorado River, because that's where we get a lot of water. Most of the Southern California water comes from the Colorado River aqueduct system. All right, let's move to the, this is the jet stream map. We can see the jet stream is moving right down through the northwest, Washington, Oregon, and California, and out to the east. This is where that low is. And out here we have a disruption which is not being shown. That storm system, there's a transmitter out here that's not being shown on any of these maps, including the this surface analysis map doesn't show that detail. Right here we've got high pressure being forced down on this low right here. That's not being indicated. Okay, let's take a look next at the Sea level pressure analysis. We have a low right here over the Arizona and New Mexico area. We've got California right here. We should be getting some rain, but that's not really happening. We did get some sprinkles here for about 5 minutes, and that stopped. Here's the 500 millibar map. We can see these two upper level lows. This is the one with the right angle on it. And then we have this low out here over Nevada and California and Arizona. We have these ridges here that where they have these highs positioned. Here's the 300 millibar, pretty much the same story. We've got these upper level lows. Okay, let's look at the, we saw this. Okay, so here we are on the eastern map again. And this is some pretty good manipulation going on here. I'd like to know if anybody living in this area, this region, if you find dead birds or wildlife, that's been found dead, this would explain why this kind of high power being focused over the country could have an effect on the birds. We've been, I know in the last 5 years, I've read articles about areas down in Arkansas and Louisiana where we found hundreds and hundreds of dead birds, and that may this sort of activity may cause animals, wildlife, to have trouble navigating and also affect their ability to think. With this sort of power. So if you live in the middle of the country, just give us a report if there's if you find dead birds, whole flocks of dead birds, any of that kind of activity. We'd like to hear about. It's doubtful we'll see any of that kind of thing with this, but if anyone sees anything like that, put it up on the board, and we'd like to hear about it. Okay, so that is the report for today, and we'll go ahead and do another update tomorrow.